Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it Finding a Cause is Not Liberation. What I mean by that is, as long as we believe we are a separate entity, there's always seem to be all kinds of causes for our seeming experiences. But finding the cause to an experience may bring some temporary relief, but it's not gonna liberate you from the contraction, from the feeling of being separate. It's like when you're sleeping and you're dreaming. And let's say that in the dream, you dream that you won the lottery. And you say, the cause of my happiness is that I won the lottery. But the problem is that you still dreaming a dream that changes constantly, and of course winning the lottery will have another set of seeming problems, and yet you still finding yourself reacting to all of that, not because you won the lottery or because now you have all sorts of problems. You're only reacting because you believe the dream is real. You follow? So in this seeming world of appearances, we're not denying our experience, but we're seeing right through the veil of illusion. So whatever happens, none of it has an effect on who I really am. And that is liberation. Because otherwise, you're going to find yourself always trying to find the cause of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this way because blah, blah, blah. See? And realize and overlooking the fact that feelings appear, sensations appear, all sorts of scenes appear, and yet what I am is unperturbed, undisturbed by any of that. So we're pointing to the fact that I am. So yes, within the world of appearances, some people may, because the human being, the seeming experience of contraction is always trying to seek pleasure, avoiding pain. He's trying to seek some kind of a liberation, but he's trying to seek liberation within a prison. Do you follow? That's what I've heard somebody says, that trying to find liberation, so to speak, at the level of the human experience is like trying to rearrange the chairs in a sinking Titanic. The objective is not keep rearranging the chairs so you can have a more comfortable life, although there's nothing wrong if that possibility is available, as long as you never lose sight of the fact that you are. So here it's not about rearranging the chairs in a sinking Titanic, it's about getting out of the Titanic altogether. You follow? So here in these videos, these are not about finding causes in order to justify, oh, the reason I feel this way is because blah, blah, blah. So if I change that, I'm going to feel differently. And yet, in some cases, making those seeming changes may appear that I feel differently, but that is temporary. You see? But the fact that you are is permanent. We're pointing to the permanency of what you are, not to the details of the seeming movie or the seeming experience that we seem to be having. And the way we rest in the permanency of that we're pointing to here is by not believing the content of the mind. Because the mind is the one fabricating the causes and the solutions and the seeming problems and the effects and the whatever. But in reality, what you are is not the mind, is not the thoughts. What you are is. We could say that in which the thoughts and mind and everything appears, because mind and thoughts are the same thing. But in reality, what you are simply is. Right now, you are being. Notice that this is pure existence, pure beingness. This is what you are always. And here, there's no cause and effect. Here, there's only beingness. Cause and effect seems to happen when we bring now the attention to our seeming experience as a separate entity. Here it appears that there's cause and effect, but in reality there's no cause and effect. It's just seeming appearances. They appear spontaneously, but the mind tried to use a cause to justify the seeming effect. But here there's no cause and effect. It's all effect, because this is the world of effects. In the dream, when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, There's no cause and effect. There's always the effect of the dream. But in the play, in the dream play, for example, while you're dreaming, it appears as if though if you throw a stone to someone, the cause is throwing the stone and the someone get hit is the effect. But in reality, the dream itself is an effect from the mind dreaming the dream. You see? If you're reading a book, for example, and you go to page 52 and you think that the cause of whatever is happening in page 52 is all the pages previous to that. From page 1 to page 51, all of that led to the effect, which is page 52. But if you take page from 1 to 51 and throw them away, you're still going to read page 52 with the same effect. You see? In page 52, the person is crying because in page 13, his family was robbed. But in reality, page 52 is just an effect that is just someone crying. That's all there is to it. Has nothing to do with what says in page 13 or page 12 or anything. But that the storyline that, if you keep remembering the previous pages, it makes believe that the cause of the page 52 is what happened on the previous pages. But in reality, if you take that book and rip it apart and you find page 52 on its own, you're still gonna see the same effect. You're still gonna read the same effect. So right now the mind suggests that the cause of you feeling the way you do is because of, and you start going to the seeming past, going to a memory. But the feeling that you're feeling right now is a very spontaneous feeling that is happening right now that has nothing to do with anything you think it happened to you in the past. But as long as you believe in this separate entity and you believe in this storyline, you will hold on to the belief that, oh, I'm feeling this way because of that particular thought. Now you're trying to figure out how to control that thought, or trying to suppress that thought, or trying to come up with another thought that makes you feel different in the present moment experience, and that keeps feeding the belief in the separate entity. It's, you could say it's a dead-end street. But if you see life as it's unfolding, but not the person's life, because there's no personal life, even though it appears that way, but feelings, sensations appear, and you see them as such, and that's it, without trying to find causes. And again, in some cases, if finding a seeming cause may help or is appropriate for the for the temporary benefit of the seeming individual, that's fine, as long as you never believe that you're the individual. It's just basically life happening. The more you know the fact that you are, then you see that life is unfolding right now. And everything is happening right now. And as it unfolds, you notice how life engaged the seeming character to do or not to do anything about it, but everything is as spontaneous, it's a momentary, spontaneous would be the best. It's a spontaneous manifestation in the seeming appearance. You see, when we even use the word manifestation, there's a suggestion that actually there's something manifested. But again, within the world of appearances, it seems as though this is a manifestation. That's fine. We don't have an issue with that. But once you see through the veil, there's nothing wrong with the manifestation. You don't have any problem when you're looking at a movie on a screen, and then all of a sudden it seems that when the projector is on, a movie is manifested on the screen. That's fine. At all times, you're in the theater and you know that it's harmless and it's just basically a play of light. You allow yourself to get involved with the manifestation for the fun of it so you can enjoy the movie, while simultaneously at all times it's a movie. Same thing here. There's nothing wrong with the manifestation, even when it appears that I may have to do something to take care of certain things. It doesn't matter, but you can see right through it. You see? You have a pain. You notice that the pain is arising. Means absolutely nothing. And yet, in some cases, the suggestion would be go to the doctor or take something. Well, that's fine. You do that while simultaneously you know that This pain is just a seeming manifestation, is what is, and the doctor is another manifestation in what is, and the doctor is not the cause of the release of the pain. It's just part of the play that is unfolding without never losing sight of the fact that it's just a play. So you still play the game, I mean, you still play your part, but you can see right through it now, you see? So whatever happens, happens, but it have nothing to do with you as essence, as beingness. And we're pointing here to the beingness. And if before you were reacting all the time, and every time you feel something, immediately you were trying to do something about it, out of the fear that what could happen to you, once you can see right through the veil, then when in many cases you may even find yourself realizing there's no need for me to do anything about it right now. I just watch the play unfold. And you see if something needs to be done, you see how life sort of moves you in that direction. I often say that hospitals are not filled with people who are sick, even though it appears to be that way. They're filled with people who are afraid. If you're afraid, then I'll sell you anything and you'll buy it without even questioning it. And this is not about challenging the system or trying to pretend that I know better. So no, this is not about that. It's an honest, when you find yourself experiencing, whatever sensations or feelings or movements, let's put it this way, then okay, this is a movement, and you simply observe how life unfolds. You see the movement unfold. Instead of making a story around the movement, you just watch it unfold, and then you see how the movement may even go away in a couple of days or something like that, and there's no need to do anything. Now, some people, the moment they see a movement, they might find themselves going to the doctor immediately, and then they may take some pills or whatever the case may be, that in some cases may appear to be a temporary relief for that, and in some cases may also have to deal with side effects. But again, I am not against medicine or anything. Everything within the world of appearances seems to have its place. I'm just simply saying that the reactive mode usually happens when there's a strong belief in the me, and always is a protecting this me. But when there's the relaxing in the believing in the me takes place, you may notice that before, when you used to react immediately and try to do something about it, now you give me a time to breathe. And the time to breathe, you notice how everything is transitory and everything changes. You see? And then there's not a holding on so strongly to whatever seems to be happening, because there's no threat. See, the threat is always to the individual. What could happen to me? And that is what moves people to take certain actions. And that's where the manipulative situation happens. If you don't do this, look what's going to happen. Oh my God, I got to do this. You see? But if you know the fact that you are, then you can even watch the seeming manipulation. If you don't do this, look what's going to happen. And you go, you know what? I am. And you rest there. And then that manipulative thought or whatever doesn't have any effect on you. And you go on with your life. And then you notice that if for some reason you needed to do something about the situation, you notice how life is naturally unfolding and moving you in that direction. But there's a sense of knowing that I am, and that's where you rest. You see, and resting in the I am, then you realize that there's no cause and effect, although it appears this way. It's just basically a seeming effect happening right now, at all times. Thoughts appear, sensations appear, circumstances, or they seem to appear, okay? And then you watch the play unfold, you see? And what's the worst thing is going to happen? That I could die, but there's no me, you see? Again, this is not something you say right now from the mouth out, from the head. Oh, there's no me. No. Again, when the recognition that I am is clearly established, the play unfolds. I still play the game, I still eat, I still exercise, I still take care of myself, or seeming that I'm doing that while this is something that happens. The only thing is that the weight of the seeming experience is lifted. It's lifted from your shoulders. And you just watch the play unfold. Notice how from the moment you wake up in the morning, the play unfolds with its ups and downs and pains and pleasures and everything. But there seems to be a neutrality, you see? Because now you know that nothing here means anything. There's no purpose to anything. It's just life unfolding, and and I see myself doing things or not doing things. But everything, it's just parting from this beingness. And right now you're being. Right now beingness is what you are, and always will be, because you can never not be. The only thing is you notice now how beingness, which is what you are, is cluttered. You see, it's overshadowed by all the stories that comes about. This is the cause of this is this. This is what I'm feeling this way. This shouldn't be like that. Life should be in this particular way. People should behave in this particular way. That's right, that's wrong, good, bad. And you go, now you're watching the movie, the thoughts. Now you're going back in the theater. You're going back to the theater of the self, watching the thoughts appear and disappear, as well as the feelings appear and disappear. You see? So the theater is the self, the thoughts is the movie projected onto the screen in the theater. And these videos are just to remind you that you are the theater of the self, not the movie that is projected on, meaning not the thoughts. You are not the thoughts, you're not the feelings, you're not the experiences, you simply are. And that's where you rest, you see? And that, resting in that, there's no cause and effect. In the world of appearance may seem to be cause and effect, but now you can see it from a different perspective. I mean, again, still, seeing from a different perspective is still a dualistic term, because it appears that there's a seeing that can perceive objects or whatever. But again, this is the limitation of language, and I'm doing the best with that limitation, because in the end we're pointing to the fact that I am. Are you not being right now? Just don't let the thoughts trying to understand or make anything out of this. I'm just simply pointing the essence of being, aliveness. Are you right now? Aliveness, just feel the sense of being alive, of being, that's all. Which is not personal, but again, this is what can I do, See, do you sense that you're alive, that you see this aliveness? Now, is this aliveness affected by any thought that may appear in it? Is it affected by any sensation? Might be overlooked by them, but it's not affected by it. The screen is never affected by the movie, no matter the content of the movie. Well, we're pointing to this. And this is not to you, so you can go talk to anyone about this. This is not about talking about this. This is just an appearance in beingness, in which it appears as if though you were drawn to information that may seem to be coming from a video, and I seem to be one that is expressing or sharing the information. That's just part of the experience. That's how it's unfolding. But simultaneously, there's a recognition that I am, and you are the I am. That's where you're resting, as I am. You see? And this is the invitation. That's it. And then the play unfold as it will anyway. It's going to unfold anyway the way it's supposed to. So if you're supposed to do A, B, C, and D, you will find yourself doing A, B, C, and D. The difference, before you thought that you were doing A, B, C, and D. Now you see that A, B, C, and D is done through you. These words are not words that I choose and I just go ahead and say. These are words that are chosen, or somehow they're being expressed through this seeming me. And yet simultaneously there's a knowing that I am. You follow? Right now, I am. See? I am. This is what this is pointing to. Resting I am. Thoughts appear in the I am. Sensations, feelings, perception appears in the I am. And yet the I am is not touched, is not moved, is not affected by any of the movements. Well, the invitation here is to rest in the I am. While you're cooking, while you're changing your kids' diapers, while you're going to when you're driving, while you're exercising, while you're watching this, you see the I am remains, because that's the essence, that's beingness, that's it. That's what is. We can call it background, but again, there's no background to sustain anything, but within the limitation of language, it's our words that are pointing that you simply are. You follow? See, right now, are you not being? Do the investigation. Don't take anything I said as the absolute truth. Don't believe anything I said. I'm not interested in you believing or following anything I say. I'm pointing so you can do the investigation and you can experience for yourself where the words are pointing to. Are you not being? See, this is it. This is it. Pure beingness. Just life. It's unfolding. It's not even unfolding. There's no beginning and end. There's no continuing in a sense of from here to there. But again, limitation of language. It's just life right now. See, this is it. At all times, this is it. And if there's pain, this is it. And if there's pleasure, this is it. And if there's thought, this is it. And if there's no thoughts, this is it. And if there's hearing, this is it. And if there's no sound, this is it. And if there's whatever, this is it. So this is it. Is perfect, whole, and complete. This is it, colored by a thought and evaluation. It seems as though it's fragmented. And now feeling fragmented is trying to find something that completes it, but you're already whole and complete. You're just distracted. Without the distraction, this is it, just as it is. It's not personal, it simply is. And that's the wholeness, the completeness that we're pointing to here. And that's always, no matter what. So this is the invitation. Right here, there's no cause for anything. It's just the effect of believing that I'm a separate entity, and the effect is whatever may seem to be perceived. And this is all there is. And well, this is inspiration that came through. I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can become evident.